Hello and welcome to the Antiques Cottage. My name is Emma, and on today's episode we are joined by the lovely Heather, who has very kindly brought in this beautiful family heirloom. She will be showing us all the different aspects of this beautiful piece and telling us a background story. Wonderful. And of course I shall be sharing any knowledge I have of the item and, as always, giving a valuation. Okay, so let's take a closer look. So Heather, would you like to tell us how you came across this beautiful piece?
Yeah, so this belonged to my great-grandmother.
Okay.
And when she was a teenager, her family used to travel all around the world.
Okay.
And she had a summer romance, actually.
Right.
And he bought her this beautiful jewellery box.
Oh, okay.
And she then returned back to the UK and had it shipped over because she loved it so much.
Oh, that's nice.
And then she met my great-granddad, and when we were children we used to visit quite a bit, and we always used to ask if we could play with the box and try on all her beautiful jewellery.
Oh.
She had so much of it, and originally the little tassels on here were quite a bit longer.
Right, okay.
They were plaited and it was so beautiful.
Mm.
And they had little frayed tassels on the bottom, but as we were playing with them so much, they've become a little bit more delicate.
Mm.
But you can see that they're still plaited.
Yeah, and
the
perhaps a little bit brighter
They
as
were
well.
yeah, they were a lot more brighter than that, a bit more vibrant.
Yeah.
So they have worn through time.
Okay.
But yeah, she always used to let us play, and it was a really fond memory that we had, and she knew how much I loved it, so she left it to me.
Oh, that's really nice. That's lovely. What a lovely story. And a nice lady.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Amazing. So, in that case, I'm sure you know your way around it.
Yeah.
All the drawers in the cupboard. Would you like to show us?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's actually locked at the moment. My grandmother always used to keep the key in this one here.
Okay.
It goes all the way out. And I used to love the fact that it was velvet inside that matched the colour of the tassels. This key used to get lost quite a bit when we used to play with it.
Seems like there's a knack to opening a couple of turns.
It's,
Wow.
yeah, it's a bit rusted now.
Yeah.
So when you open it up, this is the best bit. This is why we liked playing with it so much.
Wow. That's absolutely stunning. And it's in beautiful condition, look. How nice.
And this actually reminds me of my great-grandmother's curtains, actually. And the little doll did used to turn round a bit.
Right. Okay.
That doesn't work anymore.
I can see it's a little worn here where you've been playing with this. It's a nice texture.
It is. And the little details. We always used to love playing with this, and one day actually I broke it and I pulled it off, and I remember my mum being really disappointed.
Oh.
But my great grandmother was like, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah. And she said that she would have been happy to get it out of the box.
Yeah. Oh.
So that was nice. That's a nice memory that I have.
You thought you might be in trouble and you
I
weren't.
did, yeah,
Oh.
I really did. But she was always so kind.
Yeah.
And very gentle with us. She always used to keep all of her rings and bracelets in here.
Okay.
And actually there's some items still left in there.
Wow, okay.
That she left to me. Some of them she gave out to other members of the family, and distributed them accordingly, but she knew my favourite pieces, so she left me them. So actually, in this one here, I never wear them, I just keep them in here.
See, even the drawers are in just beautiful condition on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Let's move this over here. And, there we go. Wow, this is a very interesting piece.
We always used to play with this. And when she used to wear it, it was just always playing with it.
And do you know where this is from?
I don't actually.
Okay, let's see. You can have a look at that. See if there are any marks on there. It is quite recognisable to me. The style is very distinctive, and perhaps was bought from the same area and in the same era as the box, I would say, actually. So that's lovely.
That's good. So there's nothing in this drawer.
Okay.
I always keep it in the middle drawer because that's where she get this one.
Wow. That's very pretty. I love the colour. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, she loved this colour.
It's beautiful. And this is a bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's very beautiful. Beaded bracelet there.
So this one is empty, as is this one and this one.
Okay.
So this is the last piece, and it's another.
There we are. Wow.
Another bracelet. I loved this one because it reminded me of disco balls. And
Beautiful colours. It's very sparkly. You can really see the dimension there in the jewels. Yes, it's a very nice design.
I really liked the way that it opened up as well.
That's lovely.
So these are the 3 pieces that she left me, and she knew that they were my favourite because every time I went over I would wear one on each wrist, and I'd come jingling down the stairs with this one. And
Such happy memories.
I was so overjoyed when I found them in the drawers. I was so happy that she remembered that I loved them.
That's lovely. Wonderful. Thank you so much for showing this to me. There's obviously a lot of history and it's a really lovely story, and I can tell that you have a very loving family and lots of happy memories of your great grandma.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so I could tell you a few things about this item here. So this is a fine example of Japanese cabinetry, and it's made by one of the artists at the House of Daysum. Now, the House of Daysum were a very popular organisation in the mid-18th century, and they had a lot of master cabinet makers and artists who worked with them, and some famous and some got all of their training from the House of Daysum. So it's very well known, but there aren't many of them in this country. So it's very special to see, and I'm very excited to have a look at it. I've never seen one up close. This is really nice for me. Even with the wear and tear of the fabrics, it's still a really good example of a piece like this. It's been very well cared for, and you can see even inside the cupboards here, inside the drawers, the material inside is in very good condition. It has a very nice soft feel. I'm sure that you spent time as a child playing with the drawers.
Yeah.
Okay. This compartment here actually holds the mechanics, and originally this beautiful lady here would be turning around and her reflection would show in the mirrors all the way around the back. Now, this can be repaired if this isn't working any longer. We do actually have an expert on board here at the programme, so if you are willing, then we could pass it on to them to be repaired, if you like.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's really good. And you can see there is beautiful detail here with pieces of shell pressed into the edging. That's a wonderful detail. But I would say that my personal favourite feature of this gorgeous piece is the artwork along the outside. It also has these very detailed hinges, all original fittings, and they are in full working order. Now, there were lots of artists, as we explained, at the House of Daysum, and they all had their own individual style. There were a few that were very famous and went on to produce beautiful artwork in other areas of their craft, and something that we can do is do some further investigating to find out exactly which artist painted this particular box, and sometimes that can increase the value of the item. So I think I know what the answer to this question would be, because this has such a solid place in your heart and in your family. The story behind it is very touching, it's beautiful, and I can tell how much you love this piece. So my question would be, would you be selling the item?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
It's very much loved.
Yes.
Reminds me of my great grandmother. And my daughter also loves this, and she also loves playing with it.
Wow.
Although she has to be very careful.
I see. So with that in mind, I can still give you a valuation if you would be interested in that.
Yeah.
Okay. So considering the condition, which as I said is still very good, and considering that there aren't many of these in the country, also if we bear in mind that going forward we may actually find the name of the artist, and personally I do have a good idea who that could be, but I would like to check with my colleagues to see if we can get to the bottom of it, because that would affect the value. But as a rough guide for now, if this was to go to auction today and we were lucky enough to have collectors attending the auction, we would be looking at a price range of about £400 to £600.
Wow. Wow.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's really lovely, and as I say, it's a beautiful piece.
Yes.
And you will be cherishing this, and I guess passing this on to your daughter as well.
Most definitely. Yeah.
That's lovely. So that's wonderful. But as I say, we will take it to our expert to be repaired here in the mechanics for you, and we will find out the artist, which would be an interesting discovery.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, yes, pop the jewellery back in the drawers. Okay.
I always like to put them back in the same place. I love this one.
So do I.
They used to smell of my great grandmother's perfume as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Heather. That was really, really lovely. We hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much for joining us. We do hope to see you again at the next episode of Antiques Cottage. Good night, all.